We're just finishing reading some of this. We're on page 8. Yeah, we ended off on page 9, but I'm going back to page 8. The ministering person must work with the same people year in and year out. Taking on a parish is a little like getting married. Once you get into it, you cannot get out of it very easily. The doctor, lawyer, or psychotherapist may have an unpleasant client, but she also has the option of declining to accept that client. Or at least the knowledge that once she has discharged her professional function, she will be rid of the client. The ministering person does not have this option. She is stuck with the wearisome person in her parish and cannot avoid dealing with him. Sunday in and Sunday out, he will be there to bedevil her, and maybe between times too, with phone calls. The ministering person cannot afford to make an outright enemy of such an unpleasant person. He can cause too much trouble, and besides, he may have friends. So she remains in the uncomfortable marriage until the departure of the person or the ministering person from the parish brings relief. But of course a price has been paid for putting up with this difficult situation. On the other side of the coin, perhaps whom the ministering person likes may be leaving the parish. She may spend months cultivating a relationship with certain people, may grow fond of them and rely on them, only to have them move just when her efforts seem about to bear fruit. It often seems as though the difficult people, the parish fixtures, never move away, but the more helpful and attractive people are always moving on. Interesting. The difficult people never move away, and the helpful and attractive people keep moving on. Sound familiar? Like a broken fucking record, I'm sorry. Nor is this merely a feeling for a parish. Inevitably, remember, we can laugh and be lighthearted, and that's a gift. Keep that in mind. The children are being tortured and abused, and that's our main focus. And having the people here in this community wake up to their delusions and stop protecting those sick fucks. We need the State Department people, DHHS, CPS, whoever would be responsible for putting together the circumstantial evidence and facts and doing what they can to get those children away from those horrifically abusive people. It's absolutely heinous. We're disgusted and horrified beyond words. It's unspeakable how scary and disturbing this is for us. Thank you. You're welcome. But yeah, that's very true. The difficult people seem to never move away, and the more helpful and attractive people are always moving on. And the aware people doing some of the really horrible stuff, they seem to stick around or move on, or like to come back during tourist season, swoop through, keep an eye on things, tell the Frank and Marie Barones how much they love them. Ask them how they're doing dealing with the schizos like us, trying to get them to wake up. And it's fun, isn't it? Nor is this merely, and keep in mind, we could really, those people, they're nothing. Okay? Equality, right? And we have to serve and protect them too, right? But I'm telling you, they're pieces of fucking shit, and they don't care about you. And they have already killed innocent people and are putting you and your children in danger. Believe me when I say that. You don't have to. But I'm telling you straight from the heart. And I wouldn't say something like that if I didn't think it wasn't true. You're welcome. Thank you. Nor is this merely a feeling, for a parish inevitably attracts a certain number of difficult personalities who cling to it year in and year out for their own reasons. Be a community, a city, anything, a business. Because he works with people in need, there is particularly great drain on the energy of the ministering person. The energy drain that comes from working with people who are in need is subtle. One hardly uses one's physical energy in working with such people, but mentally and spiritually one becomes depleted. It is like having a small but constant loss of blood. When a ministering person once complained of how tired he was getting, a colleague remarked, "Well, how many blood transfusions a day can you give to people?" That is what a person does when he ministers to someone in need. His energy is used up in supplying energy to the other person. This is so even if the person in need is a fine person whom we like. It is all the more so if the needy person is difficult, demanding, or clinging. Of course, there is satisfaction in such work when we see the person in need become better or stronger. We get energy back in the form of satisfaction when we see that the time, interest, attention, and concern we have poured out are having the desired results. But this is not always the case, for sometimes when we put energy into other people, they seem unable or unwilling to use our energy investment productively. Sometimes they use it in evil ways. Exactly, sometimes we've noticed that in a lot of these situations, they actually start to enjoy and almost seem to get some kind of fix out of our anger, trying to get them to wake up. Yeah, they enjoy it. It's almost like they look forward to it, to our squabbling and begging and pleading for them to be rational and wake up and help our children in the hands of sick, murderous pedophiles who tried to kill us. Yeah, it can be very draining, can it? But we've learned over the years, especially growing up with our childhood and dealing with those situations. Yeah, when the granolas used to get upset about the drug trafficking from the Middle East and the child molester that lived with us. Yeah, they got pretty upset about those things. So I had to learn how to hone in on that energy because I wanted to help those people too, right? I mean, it's sad. You don't want to say, "Oh, too bad. Haha, your brother died. Haha, your kid overdosed. I guess they shouldn't have been doing drugs. Their fault." I know, seems mean, doesn't it? So that, you try to put some energy into helping with that, and then you almost get killed, beat up, tortured. You get put on security, surveillance, rehab, and training programs when you're 18, and that just gets you more heat. And then in 2010, when you're put up for a review, some of them use that as an open door to get revenge for some stings that happened back in 99, 2000, and 2001. When you connect that to the Hamas operations and what's going on, it really starts to get fucking sickening. And if you're any type of human being who cares, it should piss you the fuck off how ignorant these people are being and protecting these sick fucking punks for other reasons. And those other reasons make you sick too. The drugs. Oh, I know. We're non-vaxxers. We're dangerous non-vaxxers. And some sick sense of fucking control over people. It makes you so fucking sick, dude. I don't know what else to do. If you have any suggestions, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, we know, and so many are doing a lot already and have been doing a lot for a long time. You would be surprised, and you would almost never know it because you'd think they're doing something totally different. Well, they're aware, too. Back when Chris shot himself in 2009, a lot of those investigative teams were fucking pissed, especially when they saw what was happening here with the gaslit people and the druggies, and they were already pissed about stuff from the 90s. Remember the angry granolas? Yeah, and a lot of them turned into activists and dog lovers and stuff like that. Yeah, so when you just understand that and how those forces have been kind of ping-ponging off each other and working together to rid the street of bad, they want to help. Right, so if we were to do what most people would do, people always say that, right? Kill that motherfucker. I know, right? That's what they should be nailed to the fucking cross. I know. Well, you can't do that. We're not violent people. We don't believe in that. We're trying to expose what's happening at the roots. Yeah, it's really, really bad. So we would rather do that because we've been doing this for a long time, and we know that if you violently strike or do what any normal rational person would do and take that motherfucker's head off, yeah, then you just go to jail, doesn't get uncovered, what happens to the children, right? Someone goes to jail for murder, someone gets murdered, and the kids go where? Yeah, there's whole forces that depend on that happening too, and they're there to swoop the kids up and save them from such a horrible situation. It's just so fucked up. So we're not going to keep speaking out until people wake the fuck up and do what they can. We're already surveilled 24/7, and we've already said that we're willing to be surveilled. Every move we make, every breath we take, you can watch us. We love it. I think it's great. It's good security, especially in some of these situations, to help these kids. Probably be a good idea. This is so fucking sick and disturbing what's happening here in Augusta, Maine. Right, so again, if we did that, yeah, we should take the motherfucker's head off. That's what any normal person would do. Just try to be rational. I know, everybody says that, but we're nonviolent, and we don't think that's the answer. And because we've been doing this for so long, and we know that just impedes the horrible syndicated networks and orchestrators, and so we want to do that. That's what we're trying to do. It's connected to a lot of activist groups. As you can see, many of them are good people, 99.9%. We like to think everyone's good, so there's a very small percentage doing very bad things. Yeah, within the activist groups, humanitarian groups, the Hollywood bubbles, the druggies. I mean, some are dog lovers and druggies, right? I mean, so why are you being so fucking racist? So some people do bad things, and some people are doing some really bad things. And a lot of things are connected, like the Epstein Island type deal, where you have a lot of activists and humanitarians, environmentalists, druggies, people just partying, going to have an experience. Right. So we understand that. And we don't really need to have it out with any of those people or have anyone explain or justify why they were there. We don't really care. I know they all do, and it's probably going to be talked about in the news and propagandized and profited from for years to come. In the meantime, between time, we sure hope the folks here in Augusta, Maine can wake the fuck up and help our children, but we're not counting on it. But we have counted on, and we see that others have taken note, and they're using this situation in training classes around the world to help show them, look, yeah, people can be that stupid, and this is how these guys have been getting away with it, and girls. Yeah, how horrific it is. So it should help you with a lot of those different investigations that many people here in the country are concerned about and should be concerned about. But what about the migrants? Yeah, well, that goes, they need housing and food just like anyone else. If someone does something bad or is illegal, they have forces taking care of that. I'm not sure what taking it to the street is going to do. And taking it to the street is going to help my kids just as much as it's going to help whatever someone thinks they're screaming out about in the street. And to understand, a lot of those riots are paid. They did that on purpose. Yeah, and there's paid antagonizers that go in there. I know, and then someone's getting shot at with a rubber bullet. Some of them want to get shot. Yeah, I know. Then they get a check and paid medication. Some of them are looking to get shot, like getting hit by a Pepsi truck, you know? Remember that one? Right, so when you get up in an officer's face and start screaming, whether you're an immigrant or not, you're going to get fucking shot with a rubber bullet or taken out in some way or another. Yeah, that's what happens. So regardless of how justified you are, whether your children are being fucked and tortured, or you want to stand up for immigration rights, which we have, some really good ones actually. Yeah, well, it's just a matter when they spike groups, just like abortion laws or what is a man or a woman. Right, they're in the street with fucking vaginas and hot dogs on their head. People are fucking crazy, immigrant or not. Right, so we'd like to try to bring awareness to those things the best we can. Is the anger, does that mean I have a problem? I'm out of control and need to be medicated and everything I say is not true? You can't trust anything I say. And you need to protect the people from me. Such an angry, hostile person. Bunch of fucking pigs, man. Hopefully. Hopefully. Thank you. You're welcome. So am I putting energy into something? Am I exhausting my energy? We're very much, we're aware of that. So we know we don't mind putting forth energy and getting loud. Oh, it's productive. We're producing other things. It helps us, so thank you. We could do it with anything, really. We could read a book and produce the same kind of emotion. When some hits a little bit, it pulls at the heartstrings more, they say. It's a little more connected. It's almost like you hear some kid gets killed somewhere. Another kid just got shot by a stray bullet. Another bomb just hit. They're screaming, being raped and tortured. Your kid just got shot with a stray bullet. It feels a little bit different. I mean, it's only natural. You're a human being, right? Yeah. A little bit more emotion. Well, there are some people that say that makes you crazy and you need to be medicated because, you're getting angry and upset. Well, those things happen. You need to learn how to control yourself. We're dealing with a lot of stupid people. So these are basic things we can learn about human functioning and understanding. So we can just enjoy life. Focus on the good things. Equality. Understand a lot of those things being spiked. We have a lot of criminal organizations and people spiking things. And then we have these individual situations. Pretty high level stuff. So what do you think we can do to get the people in this community and the state workers to do their jobs as human beings? To do what's right, morally, ethically, according to God's law. Any suggestions? I'm here. Oh, yes, for sure. It's like pouring money down the drain. We put energy into someone, but it seems to disappear, and the troubled or difficult person remains as he was before, leaving us feeling depleted and empty, wondering, how can someone be so fucking stupid and evil and sick and demented? It really leaves you wondering, feeling depleted and empty, like, that kind of stupid really does exist. And you can laugh it off and just accept it. But when that kind of stupid is protecting sick fucking mongrels and punks and pieces of shit fucking your children, that ignorance might piss you off more, right? And then they love your anger. Some of them get joy out of your anger and think it's funny that you're getting angry about things that don't exist. See how fucked up that is? That's called like a polarizing, what do they call that? Parallel, paradoxical, vice versa, flip-flop. Yep, I know. It's just all throughout history you can see examples of that. It happens every day. It's happening right now somewhere. Can only hope and pray, And again, even if they do, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing here because they can't do anything about it. What a predicament. The ministering person deals with many people who come to her or the church, not for solid spiritual food, but for strokes. All of us have our genuine side and our egocentric side. The genuine part of us wants solid spiritual food so that the inner man may be nourished. But the egocentric side does not want solid spiritual food. It wants a kind of personal reassurance that will temporarily satisfy and support our egocentric attitudes and defenses. Such people do not come to church for spiritual nourishment, but to find a person or place to cling to be made to feel important, to hide from life and its difficulties, or to find a situation that they can dominate. These people look for the ministering person for strokes, that is, words or action that will meet their egocentric needs. If we give such people what they want rather than what they need, we are somewhat in the position of St. Paul, who complained that the Corinthians were infants in Christ and therefore could not eat real spiritual food. He said, "What I fed you with was milk, not solid food, for you were not ready for it." Such people demand a lot of attention. They feel it is their right, and if they do not receive their strokes they need and deserve, they are apt to be resentful and even vindictive. Giving out strokes to such people is exhausting, but not doing so requires that a price be paid, as the ministering person now has a resentful person on her hands. The ministering person who satisfies someone's desire for strokes may seem to benefit from receiving approval in return, but she will be what Fritz Kunkel called a white giant in the eyes of others, who will elevate her because she gives them what they want. Of course, she must continue to give out strokes as demanded, or run the risk of suddenly becoming a black giant who refuses to make people feel better and therefore becomes the object of criticism or even hatred. We are giants because to many people the priest or other ministering person is elevated to a special status. But whether we are a white or a black giant, in neither case are we being related to as we really are, for we are perceived largely in terms of whether or not we give out the required strokes. You've been the white giant, the black giant, the ministering person, the disgruntled, getting strokes, giving strokes. And it's okay. That's right. What's left? Reality. I think we can focus on reality for a little bit. I don't know. I don't think they can. They're really lost in their delusions. To be quite honest with you, we thought, we would be dead by now and die with the horrific knowing how stupid these people are and what our children are going through. It's still kind of same space, I think there is a little bit more of a comfort seeing that other people around the world are more awake and that they are doing something about it on an overall scale. These things are getting exposed at their roots. And like Trump's son said, we can't arrest them all, but we can shame some of them. I'm not really into that, because it is what it is. The shame just kind of happens, doesn't it? Perception. For sure. So, on the overall scale, seeing the awareness and that these systems are getting exposed at their roots is enough for a lot of us. Of course. It's like if your kid is starving, it's like, well, no, we're not done yet. My kid is starving. Your kid or their kid? Their kid. Does it matter? If a kid is starving, I don't know, do I have to decide which one deserves to be fed first? Who's a better person? Hold on, let me check your history here. Let me see who's worked harder. I know, the kids are hungry, they're waiting, hold on. I gotta check these people's records to see who I feed first. The others we might just kill and let them starve to death. Hold on. Well, it looks here in 1997, you got a detention for mouthing off to your math teacher. What do you have to say about that? I don't know if I can support someone that's disrespectful to adults. Yeah, you know what? Just let the kids starve. These people are all criminals. Get the fuck out of here. That's really stupid, isn't it? Good, thank you. That would be awesome. This is a good one. If you keep your hands like that, and then you can put the base of your hand on those pressure points. Just kind of lean back and do some breaths. Those are great pressure points. Do those. Do you use the tennis ball? Yeah, I like using the tennis ball. Works good. I got one of those, yeah, it's a little rubber ball and it vibrates. Yeah, those are cool. Those sucky things with the red light in it, you gotta be careful with that. Well, no, because I had it too. I was doing it on my lower back to see if it would, yeah, just to see what it did. Well, you can't see the buttons, so it should have like a Wi-Fi connection so you can control the suction and the heat and stuff, because it has a heating, vibration, and suction power. Yeah, well, I pushed the wrong button and I thought I was releasing it and I made it stronger. It was sucking in on my back and it was like, oh my gosh, it scared me. I almost got a hickey on my tailbone. I don't really use that stuff too much, no. I like to experiment with that stuff just to see. It is good, because it's like you have the acupressure where you're pushing in, so that kind of sucks out. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, they have the suction cups too you can use, so you don't have to have the mechanical one. Yeah, you be careful with that thing. Hit the right button, holy crap. I did too, I screamed and I was like, but I had to push it off really quick. I'm not really talking about that at all. Oh, okay, I figured you knew that. Whatever, and then they just wonder about it and talk about how psycho I am, and I just ramble on about things that don't make sense. We're used to it. They've always talked about us that way. Not everybody, no, that's the funny part, is a lot of the people I've worked with over the years, being put on the programs when I was 18, even before then, we had a lot of good teachers. Not just ones that had the label of a teacher, but just in life in general, just people, passerbys. Yeah, not all the passerbys are out to, yeah, some are out to help. It's almost like you see like the ones that are ripping people off or doing bad things, and then the others are trying to stop them. And you kind of see that happen, and you're like, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, just as far as like it's drug investigations, and some of those same people, a lot of the granolas that used to come at us for the drugs, yet they would talk about the vaccines. They were talking about the AIDS vaccine. They flipped out too. Remember when they brought the AIDS quilt to our school and the whole quilt was covered in the gym floor? Some kids were scared to touch it, thinking they were going to get the AIDS. Well, they were just talking about the dangers of vaccines and causing mesothelioma. I remember that. And they were upset, and they were saying that they were mocking it, trying to say it was gay people, and yeah, it's fucking a monkey, and totally not even discussing all the documented evidence they were trying to show people. That was sad. Some of them got targeted. I think a few of them got killed. Yeah, and then there was a few other ones trying to speak up about that. I don't know what happened to them. I think they moved away. I think some went to work for the government. Yeah, it's interesting really when you start thinking about all that. For us personally, it is pretty scary. On an overall scale, I think just the lack of discussion with the adults and how they play stupid to it. Right, so exactly. So when you see that as kids and we're watching that, and then you're seeing the goons and idiots that mess with those people, kind of haze, prank, tap them off a corner. I saw that. No, you didn't. Oh, I didn't see a fucking thing. Sorry about that. I'll make sure to not see anything else. I wonder I'm always looking up or down. That's not even funny though. Yeah, a lot of those people don't laugh and they don't like us either, really. The way we joke about things and we laugh. I think they understand. We really get along. They don't like sometimes the way we try to present information. They understand though, we don't work for anybody, we're just citizens. People, dead, destitutes, losers. I'm just a blob of shit. I'm useless, yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to give myself any type of human qualifications. Yeah. No, they do over the years. I know some get upset with me. Shut your mouth. You're making it worse. You're gonna get people killed. Like that hasn't happened already. They're fucking my kids. Go fuck yourself. So as you can see, I don't get along with anyone. Well, some people I do, yeah. A lot of good people all around the world we've worked with for years, friends with, we do groups with. We do a lot of different groups, rehab, therapy, classes, reading. Just kind of being present. Present. Here. Are you with it? We are with it. No, you're not. Yes, we are. No, you're not. Yes, we are. Just looks that way. I know you are, but what am I? Francis. I'm just trying to warm up my shoulder blades. Yeah, I got a boxing match coming up. Yeah, I'm fighting a dude. Oh, it's a freaking 12-rounder. It'll warm up. Remember when Dad used to tell them he was going to sign me up for the NFL? They used to get so mad. They thought he was really gonna. It's like, Even if you wanted to do that, I don't think the NFL would let me play. I probably wouldn't make the team. They've always taken their statements very seriously, right to the frickin' departments that need to hear it, that will motivate and give them steam. I know, it's like a cassette tape full of jokes and movie scenes that motivates whole places to prepare just in case. Right. Alright, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Ooh, wind's picking up.
Nice and breezy. Yes. I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.